Well, bowling fans, once again, Classic Lanes Greenfield, the site. Something a little different this time you're seeing thanks to our friends here at Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Bowl with the Wave. Van McNeil, media relations person for the Wave, and 99 WMYX. Seen them doing stuff with us here before. Thanks again for showing up today and helping us out. And a little something different, some Baker bowling, Baker-style bowling. Right. We've got Wave personalities bowling with some people that do some great work in the community and Wave fans. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, in the first match, you're going to see our Wave owner, our new Wave owner, Sue Black. She's a bowler. She brought her own ball. She has her own shoes. But you always see the players. People come to U.S. Cellular Arena to check out the games. Our big home opener is December 7th against the Baltimore Blast. Of course, you can get tickets and more information at MilwaukeeWave.com. You always see the guys playing soccer. We thought, let's take them out of their elements, put them here on the lane, see how they do.
We've got some pretty talented bowlers out here we've paired them up with. Baker-style doubles, and top prize today, thanks to you guys at the Wave, set of season tickets for either the bowler or their charity, so it's going to be pretty nice for them.
Right, season tickets. Like I said, we're excited for our 30th anniversary. We kick off the season again December 7th against the defending MISL champion, Baltimore Blast, so right out the gates, it's going to be a pretty electric series.
It's going to be pretty electric here today, I think, too. We're going to get back with the first match. We're going to leave you on the sideline doing the reporting today, doing your best Mike J. Lane side for those people that know him. And Joey Sorrell is going to join me back in the commentating booth. So get back here to Classic Lanes Greenfield. Let's have a little fun, Van.
Let's get started, and let's go Wave, like we say.
Are you ready for the excitement that is Milwaukee Wave Professional Soccer? Join us for the home opener at U.S. Cellular Arena, Saturday night, December 7th at 6 p.m. as your six-time champions take on arch rivals and defending MISL champions, the Baltimore Blast. Your Milwaukee Wave will do a salute to our armed forces and featured an Armed Forces halftime soccer match. Plus, American Music Award winner and Grammy nominee rock band Daughtry will perform postgame. Call 414-224-WAVE or visit MilwaukeeWave.com. Let's go Wave.
Being a head coach of any sports team means being a leader on and off the field. So when one of my players needs an MRI, I send them to Smart Choice MRI. Smart Choice gets my players back in the game quickly with an accurate diagnosis I know I can trust. And at only $600 for any MRI, it's a win-win.
Don't get sacked with a huge hospital bill. Follow the Wave to Smart Choice MRI.
My team and I have trusted Smart Choice since 2010.
Smart Choice MRI.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
All right, Phil and Joe, before we get started, let's meet our teams here for tonight's match. And we open up with owner Sue Black. How you doing, Sue?
Fabulous, fabulous. This is going to be fun.
You know, I saw you come in today. We asked you to do the event, and we had asked if you were a bowler. You said, yeah, I'm all right, but you bring in a bowling ball, your own shoes. You're ready to go here.
Well, yes, and I used to love to bowl. I did it all, but then I had rotator cuffs, so I went from my 14-pound ball down to like 6 or 8 or the smallest one I could find. So no promises here, but I love bowling. This is going to be fun. And watching these other bowlers that really know what they're doing, that's amazing. But JC over here, holy moly, he's actually using my 14-pound ball, and he doesn't put his face, and he does the little, he's great. You're going to have fun watching him.
It's a pretty natural, it comes pretty natural to you. When was the last time you were out here on the bowling lanes, JC?
Last time I bowled was probably like 5 months ago, early in my season.
I gotcha. Yeah. And do you remember what game you bowled? Or?
I started off well, like a 130. That's
okay.
Good for me, and then I dropped after that.
Well, the thing here about having JC and Sue, you know, we're trying to get the players out of their element. So we have some pretty hotshot Wisconsin bowlers in Shannon Lebitsky and Mr. Michael James. Let's start with Michael. You've been paired up with Sue here. You're a longtime Wave fan from the beginning, right?
Absolutely. It goes back to 85.
85 when we were playing in the old
auditorium.
In the auditorium. And now we're approaching our 30th anniversary. On top of that, you've been a bowler as well.
I've been bowling since 9 years old in the late 70s.
So you'll be here to help out Sue.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the rotator cuff won't get too aggravated here today.
I plan on having her only bowl 2 shots of frame, no more than that.
2 career 300s for Mr. James. Let's go over to Shannon, who is the director of the Junior Hall of Fame tournament, which is coming up in November, right?
Right, November 10th at AMF Bolero Lanes.
And can kids still come and sign up for that?
Yes, they can sign up until the beginning of November.
Now, let's talk about the hardware and the titles for you. you. JC, you said about a 130 bowler. You're going to have to pick up a lot of slack here. What about your titles? You have a few there.
I have a few.
A few women's titles? Yeah, okay. Yeah, trying to be modest. That's okay. We'll let you guys check out the conditions on the lanes. It's Wave owner Sue Black with Michael James, JC Banks, one of our new players, with the lovely Shannon Lebitsky in match number 1. Let's get started. Good luck, guys.
Match number 1 from Classic Lanes Greenfield for the 2013 Bowl with the Wave. And Joey, it's going to be some pretty interesting bowling out here today. As Van mentioned in the opening, Baker doubles, basically these Wave, either the owner Sue Black or the players, really non-bowlers out of their element, getting them on the lanes here today.
Right, but they are paired with 2 experienced players, so it kind of balances things out. And we're going to see some gutter balls today, I'm sure, and some strikes, and it should be a good time.
Yeah, well, Sue mentioned before we started today she used to bowl in league, and hasn't had the time or opportunity lately. Pretty busy taking over ownership of the Wave after the end of last season and getting things going for that and their charity Wave of Hope this season, and much better keeping it on the lane.
And actually pretty good style and form considering she's currently a non-bowler.
So Jimmy Banks here, pretty interesting form. Got to watch him warming up in practice and palms the ball, Joey. Kind of reminds me of Tom Doherty for those that watch the PBA Tour. Except Tom puts his finger holes in the ball. JC here, you can see fingers stay on the outside of the finger holes when he gets set up.
Well, it's always interesting to see a professional athlete getting out of their current element and enter a new sport. And as you can see, good balance, good timing, good revolutions on the ball. Not a lot of back-end reaction, but
yeah. Well, that's actually Sue Black's old bowling ball. It's 14 pounds, but it's a polyester bowling ball. So you see a lot of the regular bowlers out there, I guess we'd say, throwing that as their spare ball today. But for JC, he's throwing that for his spare and strike ball.
Well, if they're regular, then we would be irregular.
Yeah, I mean, between Michael and Shannon this match and Jamie Cullen and Lynn Tyree Cook next match, yeah, I'd say we're the irregular ones out here, Joy.
Right. Now, we'll see if his teammates help line up JC here and move him a little further right so he can use some of that friction built in the lane.
Michael James, super fan as we like to call him. Always see a lot of posts about soccer and especially Milwaukee Wave soccer. There he's kind of laughing at Van's introduction to him there. He's got a couple 300 games under his belt over the years, and I know a couple of years ago had a high series at 845. So,
well, Mike knows how to play. He bowls in our Monday night league, our travel league, and no matter what the condition is, he finds a way to get it to the pocket.
5 steps, long way to the line, needs the ball to hold, and just can't quite do it with the 3-6.
Yeah, that ball hooked up a little stronger than I think Mike is typically used to seeing, but he'll go cross lane in the oil. Flatten it out some, I'm sure.
Never his favorite spare. He was kind of talking about that during practice about the number of 3-6s he's chopped here over the years. So, see if he gets them both with the ball. No, well, pretty much.
Well,
I thought he was going to chop it.
We'll have to give him the business in our league session then, because leaving a 3-6 means you're on the nose quite a bit.
So, Shannon Lebitsky here, director of the Junior Hall of Fame tournament. That's coming up on November 10th up at AMF Bolero. So,
and some of you
7th year for that tournament, I believe, Joey?
I believe they're in year 7 or 8, and those of you who have known Shannon for years know her maiden name was Shannon Groff, one of the top amateur bowlers in Milwaukee.
Howie and Debbie Groff, her parents, bowl often as well, and a nice start by Shannon there.
Yeah, member of the Hammer amateur staff, and
throwing a spike out there today, Joey.
Hammered the pins pretty nicely there.
Yeah. Just want to thank Hammer for that spike. She's been doing pretty well with league competition lately with it, and first kind of big tournament out there for her. And Sue's trying to keep herself loose here. Knows she's got to follow up on that spare, and count's important, but she only gets herself 3.
Yeah, and leaves herself a rather challenging spare attempt.
So, a little pressure you can tell out there, even though they're helping their partners out for either their charity or in case of Sue's partner Michael, trying to get him some season tickets for being a super fan. They want to do well for their partners.
Well, you know, there's a little pressure still on them, even though this is all for fun and enjoyment. They're still competitive.
Yeah, she's happy with the 9 there. She knew she was on the nose. Probably wasn't going to get them all, but nose gets her team almost back to 10 a frame with 29 in the third.
Now we'll see if Shannon moved Jimmy, and it does appear as though he's in the same place. 3-step approach. And that ball looked good for a while, but then it kind of faded a little bit right.
Yeah, that polyester cover. I mean, if he would pick up Shannon's ball, maybe. Shannon throws 15 pounds. If he'd pick up Shannon's ball, he definitely would get a lot more hook and get that ball to finish out there.
Well, you know, Shannon has rather small fingers, so if he did, it would be a tip grip for sure.
Yeah, well, he's not. It looks like he's just palming it, so he's just rolling it back on his forearm, keeping it in play, and just gets that head pin to go around the 2 and the 4.
But you can see he has skills because he knows where to put it. He knows what rotation can do.
And just a matter of, and I'm sure a lot of times when these bowlers go to charity events or other events that they've bowled in, or after a night out, get done with a game, go blow off some steam with some friends, lanes are usually pretty dry by the time these guys would get out after a game. So that's probably what Jimmy's used to. Michael's used to seeing a little oil on the lanes and almost a 7-9 there.
Yeah, and Michael's not used to seeing those 9 pins too often, but when the ball drives that hard, Michael take it.
No doubt about that. Once again, that season opener against the Baltimore Blast on December 7th. Get those tickets at MilwaukeeWave.com. Going to be another great season for the Wave. Looking to get back on that title track. Just fell short last year. Shannon looking for some titles again this season to add to her 5 Wisconsin Women's State team titles she's already got under her belt, and another shot.
And she is 2 for 2, and you can see there is 100% focus on her face with each shot.
Absolutely. Her Junior Hall of Fame tournament last year, 96 teams at AMF Bolero with 2 youth bowlers paired up through drawings with adult celebrities or Hall of Fame bowlers that.
She got the hard one, Phil.
Yeah, she's laughing about it on the way back. I got that one out of the way. So, could we see Sue Black maybe as a celebrity at the Junior Hall of Fame? Maybe walk in the crowd or something, but I don't think she'd want to be paired up with the youth bowlers that are out there. Those youth bowlers are all, a lot of them out there as good as Shannon and Michael, if not better.
And that was not a bad attempt on the spare. She only missed that head pin by about 1/2 inch.
And her arm swing, it's relatively straight. Just a lot of times with timing, where your shoulder positioning is, you just get that little bit off, and instead of hitting the head pin, next thing you know, you're just hitting the 10 pin instead. And yeah,
and
boy,
Jimmy's going, boy, it's supposed to hook on the end, and I'm not seeing that backhand hook that I typically see when they're drier.
And you know, one thing, at least for him right now, he's going wide of the head pin, but he's not leaving washouts. He's not leaving anything that's really tough for him to make. So maybe. No, he's 0 for 2 so far, but maybe we can get him his first spare of the match right now.
Well, if he leaves a washout next time up, Phil, I will remind him of what you just said. Because there are times the kiss of Phil.
Well, hey, we're going to get into the commercial break for this game. A great spare there by Jimmy Banks. Gives his team a nice 22-pin lead, and we'll be back with the second half of this Bowl with the Wave opening match from Classic Lanes Greenfield in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned.
Finding the right preschool was so much harder than I thought. I wanted a place that was focused on all the right things, so she's not just ready for school, she's ahead of the game. That's why we chose KinderCare. Everything there is about learning. The classroom, the materials, all the lessons she likes, even the little handwritten labels on the shelves. They do it that way so she's learning words even when she's reaching for the blocks. It's all designed for learning.
Half our opening match in the books for the 2013 Bowl with the Wave here at Classic Lanes Greenfield. Michael James adoring all that hardware from the Wave during the break and wants to get a little hardware of his own today. But it's going to take some work for him and Sue Black to overcome that 22-pin deficit they're in right now, Joey.
And another high shot for Mike, and this time a 6-10, which is just as choppable as that 3-6.
Right away goes back, grabs that polyester ball off the rack, wants to take that chop possibility out of play. Really knows what to do here. Waste no time. He's got his wife Melissa on the side over there. And wow, he's playing with fire on those right side spares today, Joey.
Well, that's the way to do it, though. You don't want to throw at a spare cautiously. You're better off being assertive and aggressive.
Shannon Lubinsky out of Wauwatosa. Once again, a Hammer staff member. Throwing that Hammer spike. And what does that spike do, Joey? You've reviewed that for Bowlers Journal.
Well, the spike is designed for medium oil patterns, good length, as we can see, and a nice smooth motion, but it does make a hard move when there's friction.
And she's 3 for 3 so far for her team.
I think Shannon has typically preferred balls more medium strength as opposed to overly strong covers and cores, because the ball retains a little bit more back-end energy retention. Oh, she got rid of the 10-pin, so she avoids chopping the 6-pin.
She's not right on the gutter. She feels a little bit better about it, but you can see right there, how am I going to make this? She doesn't have the confidence to just kind of move a little to the left and shoot to the right now, but maybe she'll get it. Maybe Michael will talk her into it.
It'd be like us trying to kick a soccer ball through the goal, and
from 50 yards away.
Well, from 10 yards away, we'd miss.
It's got a chance. It's close. Oh! The agony of defeat there for Sue Black. She wants to win this. She's not just out here for just pride and helping her partner out. She wants to just win.
Is that soccer ball larger than a bowling ball? Bowling ball, we know, is 27 inches in circumference.
It's about the same size.
Actually, 27.002 is the official maximum circumference of a bowling ball.
Yeah, they're about the same size. I was looking at it roughly before the tournament started today. We'll have to compare notes during the break of this match. We'll let everybody know when we come back. But JC with a bad break there. You see that ball deflecting, leaves a 5-7.
That was his first ball actually in the 1-3 pocket. So we'll see if he can adjust, and he won't have to move much here because
just get the ball maybe a little farther to the right, which he's not quite done. I thought he did it there, but
I thought so too.
Leaves himself just a 7-pin after that spare, but still has his team up by 22 pins. 101 in the 7th for Banks and Lubinsky versus 79 for Black and James.
Well, 22 pins, and with 3 frames left, he's definitely going to need a double or a turkey in there and get a little help from his opponents.
Yeah, or a little help from Sue. If Michael can get a strike here, and if Sue can get a strike the next frame, and JC doesn't strike in the 9th, well, there goes that idea with the 10-pin.
Yeah, good shot, soft 10.
But even still, if JC doesn't strike in the 9th and Sue does, there's still a chance for the Black and James team to come from behind and win this match.
Well, there's a chance, but again, when you're running out of frames.
And you got Shannon stepping up here, who's gone 3 for 3 so far and doesn't look anywhere away from the pocket.
Yeah, Shannon we know is going to either strike or leave a makeable spare.
Well, Michael, 4 marks on the board, but unfortunately for him, 3 of them are spares. So Jamie Cull in the background getting ready for her next match. She'll be paired up with Wave player Ian Bennett against Lynn Tyree Cook and Radio Joe Zenzola from 1250 SSP in the Milwaukee Wave Soccer Show.
Smooth, good release, and just enough to kick that 10 out, Phil.
If that 6 would have gotten the 10 out, that head pin was coming back across with authority and was going to take it out. No doubt about that.
And it's those marginal shots, and I do mean marginal, that the good player carries more so than the recreational player, and that's due to good technique, good roll, good fingers in the ball.
Absolutely.
It's not luck.
No. Let's see, you're going right towards the head pin. That needs some help, and
oh, there you go. Now, if Mike would have carried his 10-pin,
they'd have a chance in this match if JC wouldn't strike.
He's getting worked up, Phil.
Hey, you know, if you're gonna, it's like golf. If you're gonna go out strong. Even if they don't win this match, she threw a strike her last ball on television today. Not too shabby.
Jimmy's smiling on the way up there. This could definitely salt them victory here with a strike, but not to be, but a makeable spare.
So that sleeper 8-pin can get a little tricky sometimes. So Shannon let him know out there already. Just make sure you get them all with the ball. And the nerves, you can see the bowlers, the regular bowlers as we call them, I think they're more nervous than their Wave partners are right now. I mean, yeah, there's a little pressure about getting the tickets, but they want to go out there and win these matches just as well, and they want to perform for their partners. And a great spare there. How about
Beautifully
that?
done.
And he really straightened that ball out. He didn't get that ball out to the right at all and just let the oil take it all the way down the lane. like playing the wind when you're in outdoor soccer, I'm sure.
Well, there are such thing as natural athletes. No matter what sport they attempt, they tend to have some pretty good success, or at least they look good doing it.
Yeah, well, Ian Bennett during practice, and you'll see him in the next match. He looked pretty good as well. So a great shot by Michael there, but probably he's going to be too late unless he goes off the sheet. Cuts the lead down to 12 pins.
We get a maximum 159. So that will force them to mark, or at least good count and a mark.
Yep. And then, depending on what happens that first ball, could be good count in the 12th frame as well.
Right, so Sue's strike in the 9th was the critical strike in this juncture.
Yeah. Right, he gets himself set. He's going to get that nice, long 5-step approach. Posts nicely at the line. And a terrible break, leaving a 7-pin.
Yeah, that was a blower 7-pin. The 5-pin did not do its job by being hit into the 7, probably in front of it.
Let's watch the replay here, and
no,
it gets
not really
blocked.
in front, just next to it.
Yeah, it just kind of gets blocked by the head pin coming back off the wall. Let's see what he does to cover this up, because every pin counts right now. Ends up with his team at 148, and that's going to force Shannon to get a good count on the first ball for sure. So nine missed for Shannon would be 149.
Yeah, we could see a tie.
We could see a tie. 8-1 would be a tie at 148.
7-2 would be a tie, correct?
7 and spare. Well, no, 7 and spares. You just need count then. 7-2 would be a loss. 7-2 would be 147. Since they're working on a spare right now.
It's all said and done.
How about that? 5 for 5 for Shannon Lubinsky. Boy, when she starts coaching these Thomas More high school teams for the fall and winter bowling season, she knows what Baker competition's all about here. She'll be able to give them a little tip or two about Baker play and pulling your teammates up.
Let's watch Shannon's form now. We'll see how solid at the line, her good extension, doesn't muscle the ball at release. Nice and smooth.
Head
Posted.
Real steady, yeah.
And again, that's a good 10-pin. Pin went right in front of it. But Shannon doesn't get in too much trouble.
No, and she should have.
In that she stays in the pocket. She might get in trouble off the lanes, but on the lanes.
We'd have to talk to her. We'd have to talk to her husband Steven about that, but I don't think that's happening, especially with their 2 daughters. She's busy mom between getting the Junior Hall of Fame tournament set up, 2 daughters, husband, and all the bowling she does, all the coaching she does at Thomas More High School, and a great opening match. Lubinsky and Banks will be moving into that championship match from Classic Lanes Greenfield, but we've got another semifinal coming up. Join us in just a moment for that.
Well, guys, like you said, a pretty exciting first match. Our second match going to be hard to top, but we have way forward Ian Bennett here that'll bring some magic. We always see you on the soccer field. When was the last time you were out on the lanes?
Honestly, it's probably been 10 years.
So the last time you bowled, what was your score?
I'm gonna say, let's keep it respectable. It was like 115, I think.
115. Yeah. All right. Well, it's a good thing that we have Jamie Cullen here. Many titles, a Badgers women's title, a few state titles in there. How are we rolling this season as we get going?
Well, right now I'm in the middle of getting all my pitches switched, so I'm trying to work the kinks out with that. But I'm feeling pretty positive, and we're gonna rock this.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Ian, you guys can go get ready, Ian and Jamie, and then we go over here to Radio Joe Zenzola, the Milwaukee Wave Soccer Show. Catch it Wednesday nights, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock
On 1250 WSSP. When was the last time you bowled?
It's been about a year. I don't know.
Pretty respectable bowler, though?
You know what? I'm happy with 100. I'll take 100 any day of the week. But when you're dealing with people like I Plush over here, I don't know. But I got Lynn. She's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
She's going to get the job done. She's going to help me out today. I have full confidence.
The lovely Lynn Tyree Cook, which we have so many titles, we've lost count. There's a women's state title, Milwaukee women's title, the Waukesha title. You are the real deal here, Lynn.
Let's hope so.
And how are we doing this season as we get going on the 2013-14 bowling season?
Bowling a lot, but not bowling as well as I'd like to.
Well, we will see
I
here.
still have faith in her.
Right, she's
Still
going to
have
carry
faith.
you nonetheless.
And we're going to rock it better than Jamie.
Okay, look, the trash talking has begun. Let's get the second match started. Ian Bennett and Jamie Cullen versus Joe Zenzola, Radio Joe Zenzola, and the lovely Lynn Tyree Cook. Let's get going, boys.
At Smart Choice MRI, we're reforming healthcare one patient at a time with our flat rate of just $600. Here's what our patients have to say.
When I got injured, I just wanted to get back on the field. Doc sent me over to Smart Choice MRI because we could trust the diagnosis. It was so quick and easy, I was back on the field doing my thing for the Milwaukee Wave. I'm Ian Bennett, and I'm reforming healthcare.
Exercise your choice. SmartChoiceMRI.com.
Smart Choice MRI.
Match number 2 for the 2013 Bowl with the Wave here. And Joe, we've got animated Ian Bennett from the Milwaukee Wave forward, starting us off here, and he's ready to go.
He's the 2013 year edition of Dancing Deja Vu. Remember when Dennis Jarris was on Bowling with the Champs? He'd throw a good shot and do a little dance at the foul line.
Late 1980s, I believe that was, or early 1990s.
And Ian just does it prior to throwing a good shot, but
dancing
again,
on the way back too. And
it appears as though he's having fun, and I think anything that stays on the lane is a good thing for Ian at this point.
Yeah, much slower ball speed, but in practice, everything was going relatively down the middle of the lane. So,
oh yeah, he's loose. You can see he's loose.
4 steps.
He gets less loose on the way up there. He gets a little tentative.
He's trying to help it over. We all do that biting loose on the lane sometimes. His is just a lot more than what we normally see. Keeps it in his own lane, though, which sometimes you don't see that out of bowlers.
Yeah, he's definitely enjoying himself. If he gets all opens, he'll still be enjoying himself, is my guess.
Radio Joe Zenzola here from the Milwaukee Wave Radio Show on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Taking a little extra time to focus on his first shot.
Now, Joe's probably thinking, oh, great, I got to follow Ian's antics here, and I'm just going to get up there and throw. Oh, introduction?
Of course, you got to acknowledge the crowd here. Ball well under his chin, the old Ray Bluth style, but I don't think Ray Bluth had the extra step once the ball was out of his hand.
No. But, again, not a bad opening shot. And we know there's always opening shot jitters.
Oh, especially when you're not as experienced as everybody else that's out there, and the TV lights are on, and you know thousands of people are going to be watching this on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. But he's used to thousands of people listening to that Milwaukee Wave Radio Show on WSSP on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. Nice out of his hand. It's got a chance.
That was a better shot. He takes one, which is not always easy to do, especially when it's the head pin.
Yeah, slide it in front of the 3-6, and tight match right now, 9-8 in the first frame. So now we've got the bowlers up.
Well, you would assume the girls are going to be striking much more often than not.
Jamie Cullen here, bowling for NF Midwest, Neurofibromatosis Midwest. So it helps children with that disease. Affects a lot of the nervous and digestive system, and they do a lot of stuff to help the families out. And that ball kind of hooked out a little bit on her.
Yeah,
she found the dry.
A little hook out, and not an easy spare on any lane condition.
Yeah. Jamie, a 900 global staffer, has been with them for quite a few years now. And yeah, you see the ball lucky to get that 7-pin out too. Otherwise, leaving that dinner bucket with a handle is always trickier than just the bucket.
Don't they call that half a loaf?
I would believe that would be half a loaf, yes. Since you only got half of the 10 pins down. And a nice cover there by Jamie.
Yeah, and that's not an easy spare. Some players will use their strike ball, others will opt for a spare ball. In fact, more often than not, PBA players take a hard plastic ball like that, showing us their accuracy.
Yeah, they just go right up, basically right up second arrow on that side of the lane, or just to the inside of second arrow, pardon me, and just take it right up the gut.
Hall of Famer Lynn Tyree, good opening shot, and carries the Steve Grabowski.
Yes,
the 5-pin gets blown to the right.
Everything scrambles up there. Lynn with a great start. Lynn, 49 in holding, we'll say. But she still does a lot of stuff out at Sunset Bowl, helps run the junior program out there, gets a lot of promotional work done, and she does a lot of work with the Royal Family Kids Camp out in Heartland, and that's why she's on the lanes today with her partner Radio Joe. And Ian just a little off to the right, but still not too bad. But that's a tricky spare with that 9-pin in the back.
Yeah, and he's doing a little stare down, but I don't think we've seen him finish his dance. There we go. I thought we'd see a little more dancing coming in.
He's trying to get that follow through down. He needs to pick up the arm swing speed a little bit if he wants to get the follow through that well. Nice and up through the follow through, but that's out to the right again, and another tricky shot there, just getting the 9 out of that. 32 in the third frame. Leaves the Zenzola and Tyree Cook team up if Joe can get a mark here. Working on the strike, so the advantage for Joe here at least is he's got 2 shots to get maximum pin count if he doesn't get a mark, and not too shabby there starting with 8.
No, not a bad shot. And again, none of these amateurs in this match are bowling in league, correct?
Correct.
Right, so just seeing them out there is still an accomplishment because it's like kind of like a fish out of water.
And with this, trying to get him to adjust for the corner side spares for the 4-7 or 6-10, you know, their comfort zone right now is the middle of the lane. We saw it with Sue Black. Her comfort zone, middle of the lane. And to get them away from that right now, you know, odds in these spares, I hate to say it for the Wave personnel here, probably less than 50% on these 1- and 2-pin combination spares because they get a little scared with it. Not too bad there by Joe, but
no, not a bad attempt. And you know, even for a lot of purely, let's say, league bowlers or tournament bowlers, playing near the gutter can be terrifying. The first few times.
You see it a lot with when people bowl on the sport patterns for the first time when they try like the PBA Cheetah or some of the shorter World 10-Pin Bowling Association patterns. They're scared to get out the second board and play it straight up second board where they need to be to get a consistent good ball reaction. Jamie gets that ball to come up again, and she's got that hook set going with the ball.
Touch high in the pocket there. In fact, Lynn Tyree's husband, Don Cook, was one of the... I bowled with Don back in the Blue Mound Major. He was one of the first players to tell me, you know, Joe, you only know you're playing the gutter when you dump one in the gutter. Until then, you're tentative.
Yep, that's exactly it.
And Don Cook, as we know, one of the best all-time gutter players ever.
Absolutely.
And that was surprising there, Jamie missing the 4-7.
Don saw him bowling with Rich Wonders, another great Hall of Fame bowler as well.
Good outside player. Don Gazana, great gutter player.
Don, I used to bowl with the Strakota's Millshore back in the day, so yeah, it wasn't just the track. Bowlers playing the track area back in the 60s and 70s. They had to learn to play all over the lane as well. They just didn't have the high-powered equipment that we have nowadays, and you can see right there, Lynn just took all 10 straight back.
That was a pretty shot. She might have moved a little bit further right on the approach and got that ball to face up in the pocket. No deflection.
Ian, talking to those pins already, he's going to knock him down this time. He wants that strike. Nice out of his hand. It's just drifting a little to the right again, and can't quite get the 7.
And you can just see it in these athletes. They have very good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, well, they have to. If you look at the dance moves Ian's pulling off there, I can't wait to see after a couple of goals this year with the Wave what he's going to pull out on the field. So he's got the little hip-hop going there.
Well, I mean, a lot of these youngsters, Phil, they have rhythm, unlike us or me in particular.
Exactly.
They have rhythm.
Got a chance. No, that one's way to the left. That's in the gutter already. He's trying to get the oil to hold it.
Yeah, it's
not
going to come back out of the gutter, Ian. Once it drops in that channel, you can do all the dancing you want. It's not coming back.
But he's going, ride that oil, ride that oil. So he knows, you know, oil's out there to help the bowlers out too, even on spares. Radio Joe here. Grabbed the ball off the rack. He's wearing the house shoes. Doesn't really bowl league, but likes to get out and have fun with his friends bowling once in a while. And, ooh, almost a big break if he would have gotten that 10 out.
Well, he might not be happy the 6-pin fell there because now he has the lone pin in the corner, which we know is probably most bowlers' least favorite pin to leave.
Yeah, and especially right now under the pressure of the TV lights. And you can tell he's trying to move himself a little bit here. He's trying to go across the lane. He's hugging the ball return. Going from left to right, and that's just real quick out of his hand, and not even close, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a little off.
You can see there the foul through, not great, but we're through the first half of the game here. We'll let Radio Joe redeem himself on the other side of this break. Join Joe Serrar and I back from Classic Lanes Greenfield.
I have a lot of viewers that ask me, why do you have so many of your tournaments at Castle Lanes? Well, Castle Lanes is a center that has an exceptional atmosphere. The charm of being in a Northwoods cabin while you bowl, an attentive staff on the lanes and in the lounge, all the big screen TVs and a free Wi-Fi hotspot, and being named in Bowler's Journal as one of the 95 places to bowl before you die, you have to bowl at Castle Lanes. That's why we love Castle Lanes, and you will too.
You're driving along and then it happens. You get hurt in a car wreck. After your car wreck, the insurance adjuster may show up at your door and try to tape record you. Don't say anything. Call us first. It may mean the difference of tens of thousands of dollars or more. Don't say anything and don't sign anything until you talk to Gruber Law Offices. Remember, if you've been hurt in a car wreck, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Well, Joey, that's some pretty impressive hardware the Wave has there, all the years of championships that they've had. The oldest soccer franchise in the United States, and looking for another title this year.
Well, and their season starts soon, I believe.
December 7th, right around the corner. Get those season tickets or get the game-by-game tickets at MilwaukeeWave.com or call 414-224-WAVE, and they'll get you all that information. And Jamie looking to wave a strike here and can't quite get it out. And she's got a little over-under reaction with that ball right now.
Yeah, she definitely had under earlier and now a little over hit down there. But, you know, we look at those trophies in the background from where Jamie is standing, and that soccer ball on top, Phil, I did a little research. They are 27 to 28 inches, so again, very, very comparable to a bowling ball size. And there is a bowling ball that looks just like that soccer ball.
There's a couple of them that were made over the years. I remember Storm Bowling made one years ago, and then 900 Global made a spray ball.
Global, yeah, and they looked identically. And but Jamie made that spare? Yes, she did.
Just tickled that front pin down, yeah. And she hooked by that 4-7 before, so she knows there's a little oil in the middle keeping that ball from getting over. Let's see what Lynn can do here on lane 12 at Classic Lanes Greenfield, and another blower 7-pin. That's a couple we've seen today.
You could see the ball's motion on that compared to her previous strike. Read the lane just about a foot or two later and didn't quite have the drive. See that 5-pin going right in front of the 7.
She knows it's a good shot. You see in the replay her reactions. Just she's seen enough of them over the years. I mean, in 3 Hall of Fame, she's in the Wisconsin State Women's Hall of Fame, Metro Milwaukee Women's Hall of Fame, and the Waukesha Women's Hall of Fame, and that's a surprise right now, too, watching her go by that 7-pin.
Well, when there's a lot of oil in the middle of the lane, that can happen.
Well, the good news for the team of Zenzola and Tyree Cook, they're still up by 2 pins, even after that open frame, but Ian Bennett here can help him and Jamie Cullen build a lead here with a good shot, and just that little bit to the right again. Lucky to get the 8-pin out, so that makes it a little easier with the 1-2-4. So, Van McNeil's got something in his hand here. It might be, yeah, he's got a soccer ball. Ian going to kick it down? Nope, he was going to throw it down maybe. I thought maybe Ian would kick it down. Maybe we'd have to give him bonus pins for kicking it 60 feet down the lane. Knocking those 3 pins down.
You'd need the steel-toed bowling shoes if he's going to kick this bowling ball down the lane.
No doubt about that. That one again, just drifting to the right, and it's not going to catch any of the pins.
As Bob Uecker would say,
just a bit outside.
That's correct.
One of the greatest baseball movies of all time with Major League. Radio Joe Zenzola looking to get a mark for his team here, get him back and extend that lead. Nice shot. It's got to tickle some stuff here, and he tickles the 5-9 down.
Timbers 2 pins down. That's kind of an unusual strike, but I'd like to see Ian get a strike, though, because I think he would just...
The dancing wouldn't stop.
Something special out there.
Exactly. I don't think the dancing would stop for at least 5 minutes if he got a strike. Let's see what Jamie can do here to get herself in the pocket. She's been light and high. Let's see if we can get one flush here for her. No ponytail today for her to flip back, Joey, and maybe that's the difference right there.
Well, she made the adjustment there and went high flush. So, say Ian throws a ball, Phil, comes off his hand good, he's behind the line, ball hits the pins, then he steps over the line doing one of his dance moves. Is that a foul?
That's still a foul, absolutely. That would still be a foul until the ball comes all the way back off the ball return.
Oh, okay.
It's completed. So
good to know.
Oh, yeah. Lynn Tyree Cook, looks like that ball's going to face nicely. And, of course, when you throw a great shot, you ring the 10.
And that did face up better, as we saw, but only she knows how cleanly it came off her hand. But that should have struck.
Yeah, watch the replay here. Watch how quickly that 6-pin goes up and around the 10-pin. As you said before, Joey, life's not fair. Why should bowling be?
Well, that's just the way it is. And as you see, good bowlers do not get upset when they throw a good shot and get tapped. They simply make the adjustment, make the spare, and come back next time around.
Yep, Lynn, one of those bowlers nowadays that still sticks with her strike ball, just flattens her hand out, doesn't put much in the way of revolutions on the ball in that square, just right up the back of it, and you just see that ball got to the edge of the lane, made that little bit of a hook, flattened out, and no problem covering the 10. Well, this is the last chance for Ian to get a strike here.
We're rooting for him.
He's got a chance. He's light in that 1-2 pocket, and just no pin action off the sideboards, and he leaves a 5-6.
He got robbed on that.
So,
I think he thought he had one.
No, he saw Radio Joe before with that crossover, and Radio Joe rolled the head pin back into the 5-9. He thought he'd get the same break.
Okay, he's dialing it in. He's doing the math. He's figuring out his angles.
He knows it's got to go right between. It's like putting it in the 5-hole with the goalie. He knows where it's got to go. Little tentative on that, and that ball is drifting off to the right, and it almost came back.
That was a good attempt.
I mean, there's what, an inch of error on that shot between the 5 and the 6 pin. I mean, the pins at the widest part are 10 inches apart, and the diameter of the ball is just under 9. So you got about an inch there to play with. Oh, that was real quick off of Radio Joe's hand.
And Radio Joe needs a little radio tape in that thumb hole, possibly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're an amateur bowler and you only go out and bowl your friends, you grab the first ball that kind of fits you off the rack.
Well, the tendency for most amateurs, Phil, and again, I see it all the time, is they grab something big enough. They don't want anything that resembles any semblance of snugness because they don't want to stick. They would sooner drop it.
Yep, and you can see right there, Radio Joe dropped it right down the left side of the lane and never had a chance, but they still do have a nice lead for their team here. They're up to 17 pins. Well, their high maximum here, 147, where Bennett and Cullen, if Jamie can go out here, can only shoot 130. So basically, Jamie's got a double here for any chance for her and Ian to advance to that championship match against Jimmy J.C. Banks and Shannon Lubinsky.
Nice shot off the hand, and a good 10-pin for Jamie. Kind of strange pin action as the ball went through the pins, but it definitely should have struck.
Yeah, watch, you get a replay here. Watch that 6-pin. It kind of stands up. Well, we're not going to get a replay. It kind of stood up when it went around the 10-pin. Could have fell back into it and just missed. So moves cross lane, switches to that polyester spare ball. No problem covering it up. Jamie wanted to thank everybody for coming out today and everybody that works with her with NF Midwest. They're always looking for that cure for neurofibromatosis, and they do a great
I wonder why the girls aren't doing any dancing on the approach. Like the guys are showing more animation. I mean, we know they take it more seriously, but
I think that's it. I mean, you saw before we had that, after Radio Joe's strike and Jamie's strike, we kind of compared their after-strike celebrations there, and yeah, much more reserved for the ladies as compared to the guys, but they throw a lot more strikes over time. They're used to it.
That's it. Yeah,
I'm sure if Lynn Tyree Cook went out on the field and kicked the goal from 25 yards out, she'd be dancing around like Ian. Oh, maybe not like dancing around, but she'd have a few
far
moves
better
out
than Ian, I'm sure. That was nice and a great result, and you can just sometimes tell right off the hand if it's going to be a strike or not. Let's see if we can predict this next shot.
Yeah, she feels really good on that. Lynn Tyree Cook and Radio Joe Zenzola moving into the championship match against Jimmy Banks and Shannon Lubinsky, and both their winning teams so far, Joey, on lane 12. We'll have to see with the coin flip before the next match who's going to get moved to lane 11 for the championship.
Now, I'm going to let you make the call here, Phil. See if you can tell by her release if it's going to strike.
Well, it's definitely going to get in the pocket, no doubt about that. And another wrap 10, wow.
And that was a great shot off her hand, but it did seem a little firmer. A little bit more ball speed.
Yep, and that's all it takes is getting behind the head pin just a hair and take the angle away from the 3 and the 6 getting into the 10. So,
well, I'm sure the soccer players and Sue that have participated in this today are appreciating our sport's complexities maybe a little bit more so now than they had prior.
No, absolutely. And I'm sure that Lynn and Jamie and Shannon and Michael all are going to appreciate the work the Wave are doing this season as well. So, Radio Joe Zenzola and Lynn Tyree Cook advancing to that championship match. Join Joe Serra and I back from Classic Lanes Greenfield for that match in just a moment.
When you think about it, you can really make an instant scratch game out of anything. Like word games. Introducing Ultimate Crossword from the Wisconsin Lottery. 3 crossword puzzles means 3 chances to win. If a money bag appears in a completed word of a winning puzzle, your prize doubles. Over $3 million in instant cash prizes. From $50 to $1,000. Plus a top prize of $200,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are, you'll like them.
Pins for our Essential Bowling Concepts telecast are provided by Great Lakes Bowling, offering services, supplies, and capital equipment to the bowling industry for over 38 years. GreatLakesBowling.com.
Van the Man McNeil, Bowl with the Wave continues here. Head coach Keith Tozer is with us. Why are you not out on the lanes today?
Good question. Bowling for dollars?
Yeah, bowling with the Wave. But when was the last time you were out on the lanes?
I think a year ago Christmas we had a Christmas party at iPick. I say iPick.
Yep.
And we got all the guys out there bowling. Very interesting and funny to watch the guys from Brazil actually bowl. So there's not a lot of bowling alleys, even though they do have them. Everton was probably the best, and Marcio the second best.
So the next time we do one of these Bowl with the Wave events, we can confirm him right now. We can get you to bowl.
Oh, for me? Sure,
yeah.
I'll be there. No
all
problem.
Right,
I love the bowl.
All right, looking forward to that. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the season here. November 16th starts on the road against Missouri. Of course, the home opener here at US Cellular Arena, December 7th against the defending champs, the Baltimore Blast. They're our arch rivals. What are we looking for?
Well, first, I'd love to get back into the season. You know, it's been 8 months since we last played, and we're looking forward to the season. Looking forward to a home opener in Kansas City since they're the team that knocked us out in the semifinals. So I love home openers on the road, and we're looking forward to playing against the Comets and get off on a good track this year.
Not only home openers on the road, but the home opener here at US Cellular Arena, December 7th. Like I said, the Baltimore Blast. We start off at home under a very energetic playoff kind of feel here.
And playing our big friends from Baltimore,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Well, they're the defending champs, and I thought they had a great season last year. You know, Danny Kelly and Kevin Healy do a wonderful job of putting that team together. They have the ability to find younger players, which they signed a couple new guys from Costa Rica's futsal national team. Of course, you got guys back like Gonzaga and Ferdinand in the midfield. Very good goalkeeping, and like I said, very well coached. So, they had a great year last year, but our quest is always to get back to the final and hopefully win it. So that'll be a big test for us here at home.
Of course, that's a big part with the guys, and we talk about some of the new guys and some of the contract extensions that we have with our team this year. J.C. Banks, we've heard. Nick Pereira got an extension. You want to go into some of the?
Well, let's look at the top. You know, Marcio Leite, he's had some injury issues the last couple of years. He feels like he's healthy. He's ready to go. When he is healthy, he's considered one of the top, if not the top second forward in the league. Then you got Nick Pereira, be his third year with the Wave. He's been great up top, big man. You know, he just representing the United States at the World Cup in Tahiti.
Yes.
And he scored 7 goals and finished in the top 10. So we're looking for big things from him. Of course, you got Giuliano and Tenzin Rampa, and then, Everton coming back, and he's going into his 8th year at the Wave, and it's been great to have Everton. Going to Carlos Munoz, second forward, along with Luan and Marcio. That's been great, and as you said, J.C. Banks in the midfield, along with our other players.
Yeah, Judson McKinney, lots of young blood coming to this veteran team here.
Yeah, not only young blood, but I think very talented young blood. You know, it's always great every year to bring some new players because it brings the enthusiasm to the league. To the team. And McKinney's a big, tall, technical, strong, fast kind of player, and of course. I don't know when this is going to air, but Victor Caro's coming in the back, who's going to be a huge player for us also.
Right. Let's talk about, we get into the details of the game. For those that have never been to a Milwaukee Wave game before, what would you say? It's definitely energetic in there. It's fast-paced.
It's fast-paced. The big thing, Van, that I tell people over these 30-some-odd years, that have been in the indoor game, you don't have to like outdoor soccer to like indoor soccer. I mean, obviously the game of soccer is the foundation of the indoor game. But with the hockey rink and the rules like power plays and man downs, it has an element of hockey. If you look into zone defenses and man-to-man defenses and different patterns, that brings in the basketball element. If you like a little bit of physical contact, I'm not saying you're tackling people like football, but there is definitely physical contact. You wrap that all together and you got a wonderful entertainment product, and of course the Wave does a great job of putting that all in a great package and putting a bow on it and selling it to the public.
We've been doing it for 30 years here at the Milwaukee Wave. Like I said, the home opener here at US Cellular Arena, December 7th, against our arch rivals, really, and defending MISL champions, Baltimore Blast.
Red Sox, Yankees.
Absolutely.
Packers, Bears. Man United, Man City, right?
Absolutely. MilwaukeeWave.com.
Real Madrid, Barcelona.
We could go all day with this. Brewers, Cubs.
Brewers, Cubs.
Coach, thank you for the time.
Thanks,
Looking
man.
forward to the season.
Looking forward to having you on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Being a head coach of any sports team means being a leader on and off the field. So when one of my players needs an MRI, I send them to Smart Choice MRI. Smart Choice gets my players back in the game quickly with an accurate diagnosis I know I can trust. And at only $600 for any MRI, it's a win-win.
Don't get sacked with a huge hospital bill. Follow the Wave to Smart Choice MRI.
My team and I have trusted Smart Choice since 2010.
Smart Choice MRI.
The first Top Gun sweeper of the season was held October 6th at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. The bowlers were challenged by a very difficult lane pattern, and for the 3-game series, it took a 6-20 set by Tony Oliva to take the lead going into the modified stepladder finals. Michael James used a 217 last game to take 8th place going into the modified stepladder finals, and won his first 2 matches with games of 183 and 186. In the semifinal match, Michael James defeated Ryan Jastrock and Brian Traber to advance to the championship match against Tony Oliva. However, Michael James couldn't overcome a 7th frame split, and Tony Oliva kept the ball near the pocket and stayed clean for a 231 to 191 victory over Michael James. With his victory at Classic Lanes Greenfield, Tony Oliva is automatically seeded into the grand finals on March 30th. Your chance to advance to the grand finals can happen in sweeper number 2 at Sunset Bowl in Waukesha on Sunday, November 3rd. Get your entry blanks online at facebook.com/TopGunSweepers or find information in your local bowling center.
That's right, gentlemen. Championship match time. And Jimmy Banks, JC, did you think you would be in this position, or do you credit Shannon for picking up the heavy load there?
She definitely picked up the slack, but I knew we were going to win, and we were about to win the final.
How are we looking here going into this championship match, Shannon? You've been in this position before. This is old hat for you.
Yeah, I think we're going to do great. We did great the first match, so.
All right, good luck to you guys. You guys can go get ready. And then we come over here to Radio Joe Zenzola, who called it in the beginning. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing too well. Lynn picked up a lot of the stuff there.
Well, I got to say, I'm playing a whole lot better than I really thought.
Now, Lynn, are you talking to Joe and giving him tips along the way?
Why not? He's my teammate. Yep. We're in it as a team.
That's right.
All right. Yep. Let's see who's going to win this championship match as we bowl for the Wave here at Classic Greenfield.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company tried to lowball me. I said stop, and I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They put the pedal to the metal, and they got me $125,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
All right, bowling fans, you've waited all day for the championship match for the 2013 Bowl with the Wave, and Joey, Jimmy Banks and Shannon Lubinsky lost the coin toss, and they got shifted over to lane 11. We had our winning scores come off in lane 12 each of the first two matches, and we'll have to see what adjustment Jimmy can do here to start.
Looks the same as Jimmy's first game on TV here, in that he's constantly blasting that 3-pin.
Yeah, it just keeps missing a little bit to the right. Has to still get used to the amount of oil that's in the middle as compared to some of the other places he's bowled. He did confirm with his high game 148 prior to today.
Which you would think would be higher when you look at his style, and he got it out to the friction there and he curved it.
Yeah, now he knows right now. Now I think Shannon kind of coached him a little bit before the game, going, hey, you know, if you move it out a little bit farther to the right, that free hook on the lane will let it come back.
Well, both girls are experienced coaches, so I'm sure they could help the boys line up a little bit here.
Yeah. Shannon Lubinsky with the St. Thomas More High School team. Lynn Tyree Cook does a lot with Waukesha West High School team. And Radio Joe gets the scramble there, but can't quite carry the 10 out. If you're a betting man, Joey, not to say that you've ever have been or will be.
No, I'd give him a
what odds on this?
1 in 4 chance, so 25% likelihood of making it 75% not.
All right. Well, he's learning a little bit. He's learning to move to the other side of the lane.
I hope he does.
It's got a little chance to just take the headpin back out if it was still there.
So I may have been a little generous on the odds, but again, his name is Joe. I got to root him on.
Oh, what do we call you? Bowling Joe? Because he's Radio Joe.
He's
so we have to call
Radio
you Bowling Joe. Ball Tester Joe for the columns with Bowlers Journal International. Make sure you catch all of the No Holds Barred columns in there. Well, we can actually call you Internet Radio Joe with the Above 180 podcast.
You could do that, yes.
So we have Radio Joe and Internet Radio Joe, and we just have Striking Shannon here because that's all she's done all day.
And Shannon is just dialed in no matter what lane she's on. She's got the right look, and we know when that look goes away, it's not always the most fun to get it back. And but when you got it, you got it.
Lynn's had a good look too. I mean, other than a couple of 10 pins last game, you know, she was carrying everything. So it's just a matter of having the ladies carry and having their wave players make their spares if they don't strike. And a nice shot there.
Well, see, Lynn's look is a good look, like you said, whereas Shannon's look is a great look. And by that, you know, the carry percentage. Lynn's carry percentage is, what does she hit?
Well, right now, she's
Two strikes out of 5.
Out of 6 shots.
Out of 6, and that's low for her. And Shannon is she perfect?
Shannon's 6 for 7 right now. So
6 for 7. That's the difference between a good look and a great look.
Straightens it out for that 7 pin, and she went to the right of it the first game.
Wow, and that is not an easy spare on a house shot, as we know, because of the heavy oil in the middle. And if you pinchy squeeze it a little left, it hits the lefty track and it hooks into the gutter like we just saw.
Yeah, and that's a huge lead right now for Jimmy J.C. Banks and Shannon Lubinsky. With 2 marks on the board, their opponents only have the 2 opens, and right now, J.C. with a spare can really start making a runaway.
Yeah, and Jimmy likes leaving the head pin. You know, he likes leaving something easy to shoot at, right in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, he's not leaving sleeper pins, he's not leaving washouts, and he's leaving himself, like you said, makeable spares. Yeah, once again, you can see palming that ball, and he rolls it back onto his forearm, gets the fingers on top of the holes, doesn't quite get him in there.
Just missed the head pin there.
But I think Shannon's got him where, hey, you know, if you get it out a little to the right, it will come back. And it's going to probably build his confidence a little bit more as this match goes on. Radio Joe here, looking at taking an extra second to get serious here. Hey, he's got that extra step out of his way there, so he's a little more relaxed and leaves himself the same thing that Jimmy just left with the 1-3.
Yeah, and 1-3 for a righty is not always easy, but when you're throwing a straighter ball, your chances do improve.
No. Chop should be out of play on this one, you would think, as compared to a Shannon or a Lynn.
We can't say that because we know anything is possible. I mean, how many times have you chopped a makeable spare, an easy spare, with your spare ball?
Oh, absolutely. Shoot it, for me, shoot it a 2-5 and shoot it right up the right side and still chop the 2 off the 5. That's got a chance if it holds there and just
perfectly
tickles
done.
the 3 out.
And that's another 1/4 inch right, he chops it.
Well, that's going to be a confidence builder for the Zenzola Tyree Cook team because getting these wave personnel to get marks on the board is going to be the difference in this match, something tells me.
Okay, so Shannon's going through the motions. We know she's going to strike, blah, blah, blah. Come on, Shannon, throw another strike. This is like we're playing a replay each and every shot because they're 10 in the pit every time.
Yeah, another great shot. Keeps her team up right now by 10 pins.
So I'm sure Shannon is burning copies of this, or will burn copies of this for all of her students at St. Thomas More High School.
I'm sure Classic Lanes Greenfield will be keeping it on the air as well every time it airs on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. And that's the way to kick that 10 pin out.
And again, a good look, you'll get those. A great look, and you don't see late pins too often. But I mean, Lynn is a battler. She's staying in the 1-3. And, I mean, that's all you can really hope to do sometimes in a short match like this.
You don't make 3 Halls of Fames by giving up. There's no doubt about that.
And you can't make ball changes as readily because your shots are so limited. And
you just got to kind of gut it out. And unfortunately for Jimmy here, he's going to have to gut out trying to make a 5-7. We saw it in his first match.
And Jimmy's going, well, that shows you why I don't want to hit the pocket too often because when I do, I leave a split.
And unfortunately for him, it's that polyester bowling ball. It's still just kind of spinning and not grabbing the lane.
His odds, Phil? 5-1?
20-1.
Okay,
I would have said 20-1 for him.
Well, you could say 500-1 and you would look good because that's a tough one.
I mean, yeah, even the Pro Tour, those guys probably make it when they rarely leave it. Probably 60% of the time. There were a lot of them you saw when they had the PBA Bear Championship at AMF Waukesha with that 50-foot pattern. I'm sorry, the Badger. They had a 50-foot pattern.
In fact, I saw 2 or 3 5-10s in the pocket on the 52-foot pattern, and this is from PBA Power Releases. I believe Peters left one. I think John Zerbinski, who you wouldn't dream of him leaving at 5-10.
Yeah, I saw Chris Barnes leave at 8-10. So even, the oil is the enemy out there, and you can't see it, but you know when it's reacting on your bowling ball. Let's see if Joe can get this spare going in the break. Can't tickle the 5 out.
Joe knows he should have had that, and good attempt.
Well, still only leaves his team down by 10 pins. A lot of match to go yet. Join us from Classic Lanes Greenfield for the rest of this championship match for the 2013 Bowl with the Wave in just a moment.
They call it story time. We know they're building important language and reading skills. They call it drawing. We know they're developing fine motor skills. They call it playing games. We know they're creating a strong foundation in math. They call it school. Call or visit kindercare.com to learn more.
Being a head coach of any sports team means being a leader on and off the field. So when one of my players needs an MRI, I send them to Smart Choice MRI. Smart Choice gets my players back in the game quickly with an accurate diagnosis I know I can trust. And at only $600 for any MRI, it's a win-win.
Don't get sacked with a huge hospital bill. Follow the wave to Smart Choice MRI.
My team and I have trusted Smart Choice since 2010.
Smart Choice MRI.
Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Bluemont Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Well, everybody, here's the tour of Joe Serrar's trophy room in his basement in his home. Well, maybe not that many trophies, Joey, but you've got a lot of awards. You've gotten a lot of awards over the years, though. I mean, you're in a couple of Hall of Fames as well.
Well, and some plaques and some trophies, and we call them dust collectors now.
So, but you have a storied career as well. So we always appreciate you sitting in on commentary and appreciate everything you do for the bowlers at Bowlers Pro Shop on South Hall Avenue in Milwaukee. And
well, you're very kind. Now we get to watch Shannon throw yet another strike. I'll be bold and predict it ahead of time. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, you could, as you said earlier, you could just overlay shot after shot after shot, and she's just got the groove going right now.
Well, you know, Shannon is showing you what hard work and dedication and a good matchup on the lanes can give you.
And Lynn Tyree Cook here bowling for the Royal Family Kids Camp out in Heartland, trying to win them some season tickets.
She kicked that 10 out last time, and that came in nice and hard and deep, and that was a great shot.
Absolutely. Well, Lynn, all the places she's bowled at over the years, all the tournaments, all the titles. You know, another one, the two ladies here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to bowl against the doubles team with those two on it, I'll tell you that.
No, nor would I. I mean, but eventually, you know, we have to look at our careers and realize our best years are behind us, and we should just enjoy the sport for what it is and have fun.
Yeah, go out, watch some high school matches, go out, watch some college tournaments. Midwest Collegiate Tournament was just in town. There's some great bowling there. And
watch some Wave matches.
Actually, yeah, absolutely. 10 home games this year for the Wave, so make sure you go down. There's lots of good scheduling for them. December 7th, opening night. I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve at 2 o'clock. That's going to be a great game, too, because then you can still get out, watch the Wave, and go to your New Year's Eve celebrations.
And Jimmy looked like he knew what he was doing on that spare because he covered it perfectly.
Well, 2 out of 3 on his spare.
Smiling Van McNeil, as you saw in the background, giving him a little words of encouragement. Van bowling in our Monday Night League.
Our sideline reporter today. I want to thank Van again for all his work helping put this together with the Milwaukee Wave and the Wave of Hope Foundation. And Radio Joe here, he's got to worry about that 5-pin. We saw him in the 5th frame. He left the whole middle of the rack, basically, and he slid by and left the 5-pin. Hope he doesn't do it this time.
Well, you know, if he gets a couple spares in this game, I mean, that's really all he's probably asking for, and he's been real close on all of his attempts so far.
Looks pretty close to online, and just behind the head.
Another one, and I mean, he's only an inch or two off down lane, and it is 60 feet away.
Yeah, you know, if you think about it, some of the shots that these bowlers are making to convert, that they have to do to convert splits or spares, for you soccer fans watching this, that'd be like putting the ball in the upper 90 quadrant of the net from midfield at a Wave game and having about a 3-foot target to aim at.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Shannon strikes. And what do you know? That was close to being a tap there as it finished a little deep in the pocket, but
I'm sure
Shannon's happy with that.
I'm sure she'll make a move off of that for the 10th frame, because this match is far from over yet. We saw it before. If we can get a Wave personnel to get a mark in the 9th frame and the other one doesn't, or get a strike and get a string going, we can tighten up a match in a hurry here. See what Lynn can do here in the 8th frame.
Coming in late, and there's the 10-pin, and again, that's easier to say from back here than it is from out there on the lanes, but the ball reads the pattern late. You're typically going to see some type of 9 count, and it finished good.
The strength is there. All of her 10-pins she's had so far, and I believe that's her 4th one now, they've all been ringers, and you can just tell she's just getting to the point of fluster.
She waved it off like, you know, what am I supposed to do? And Lynn, we know it's not always fair. And that she had it covered for 59.5 feet.
Yeah, she needs one of those lanes. Can you shorten it up? Can they make an adjustment to that?
Now, Jimmy's been smiling ear to ear, and I just thought he was a happy guy, but I think he's smiling because he knows Shannon's on his team, and all she does is strike.
Well, if Jimmy can get a mark here, they'll pretty much walk away with it, and there is no better mark than carrying the fortune out at a high hit.
Yeah, he got his mark. They got a double, and that almost salts it away for them.
Well, 163 is the maximum score here for Radio Joe and Lynn. You know, right now, it's just a good count for Shannon in the 10th frame, no matter what, to lock it up.
Mathematically, they're in it, but with the way Shannon is striking, they're not in it.
Wow, there's the Steve Grabowski and a crossover. How about that? Takes the 5-6 out to the left with the wall shot. Hey, how about that? 3 of our 4 Wave personnel today, their last shot on TV was a strike. The only one that did not was Ian Bennett. So Radio Joe, Jimmy Banks, and Sue Black all struck on their 9th frames. Nice bowling. This is just to lock it up. Any good count will do it for Shannon.
Any good count. How about a strike?
Nothing better than that. They could shoot 200 here, Joey. 206 for a maximum here. If you would have thought after watching the first 2 matches that one of these doubles teams could have shot 200, I wouldn't put that bet out there.
No, Shannon made an adjustment off the previous shot that hit so deep in the pocket. She moved in, and we almost saw a 5-pin or a 5-10, showing how challenging this pattern can be if you move a little too much.
Well, and you got the Wave personnel. They're throwing polyester bowling balls up the middle of the lane, and that's going to push oil down the lane. No doubt about that. And another mixer 7-pin out there.
Well, now we know she's human. She's not from outer space, and she can get tapped now and then.
So she's going to take home for the Junior Hall of Fame tournament a pair of Wave season tickets. If you have not signed your kids up for that Junior Hall of Fame tournament at AMF Bolero yet on Sunday, November 10th, be sure to do so. Go to jhoft.org, jhoft.org, and get those teams signed up, because I think it's going to be a 108 team sellout this year. That's all they got room for with 72 lanes at Bolero, and it's a fun event. Lynn Tyree Cook just looking to finish off strong, and I'll tell you what, we're not going to reveal Lynn's age. We're going to say she's 49 and holding out here. But when I get to her age, I want to be able to throw the ball as firm and as well as she does.
When she throws it good, she throws it really good. And again, that's as much power as anybody ever needs.
If there is a women's PBA 50 tour, I could see Lynn going out there and being competitive.
Well, that is if she was old enough, but since she's not
49,
yeah, she has to wait another 10 or 20 years, and then she'll be eligible. But she finishes with a spare here, a 151, which would have been a winning score in our previous matches.
Yeah, they got out of the last match at 137, so that Radio Joe and Lynn did get a little higher score this time, but obviously not enough against that 194 and that late 3-bagger by Jimmy and Shannon. So all of our 3 remaining teams today are going to take home a couple of 4-packs of Wave tickets. I want to thank Van McNeil, Sue Black, and everybody at the Milwaukee Wave for being part of this event. Joey, thanks for sitting in with the commentary again today. And we will be back to wrap this up from Classic Lanes Greenfield in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned.
Radio Joe Zenzola and Lynn Tyree Cook at a 151. Love the
I'm going home, back to the place where I belong, and where your love has always been enough for me. And I still remember summers never look the same. The years go by and time just seems to fly, but the memories remain. The day I thought I'd never get through, I got over you.
Absolutely, Joe. Phil here with our champions, J.C. Banks and Shannon Lubinsky. A 194. What happened there? My goodness, like 5 or 6 strikes in that last game. Were you coaching J.C. there?
No, he did it all on his own.
Very, very nice. And J.C., where did that come from, man? You had a couple strikes in there. You should join the Pro Tour.
I'm thinking about it. I think it was the crowd next to me. They were pumping me up a little bit and got a couple of good bowls in. So that's good.
So we're going to do this again, right? Ian, you had a great time, didn't you?
Oh, great. Phenomenal. It was awesome. I'll do it again.
We just need to get him some coaching. So for Jamie and Ian, Michael James, Lynn Tyree, Radio Joe, Shannon, our champions, JC and Shannon here. We're going to wrap it up here in just a moment. But again, our champions for Bowl with the Wave this year, our newest player, JC Banks and Shannon Lubinsky. We'll be right back.
Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Pick up the latest issue of Wisconsin Bowler Magazine, now available in your local bowling center. If your local center does not carry Wisconsin Bowler Magazine, ask them to. It's free to them and free to you.
Van McNeil, what do you think? First annual Bowl for the Wave.
It was really nice to see the guys, even our owner, Sue Black, like you would never see them before, out here on the lanes, just proving how much fun bowling is.
Do it with your family, friends, teammates, as you can see with Ian, JC having a great time between each other today when they're out on the lanes. Just a lot of fun, and I want to do this again next year.
Absolutely. Speaking of JC, just the different styles of bowling. You know, Ian and Sue were your two-handers, as was Radio Joe. JC there with a little palming of the ball. I wouldn't have expected that because we always see them on the field at U.S. Cellular Arena. It's good to get them out of that element and out here on the bowling lane. So Phil, to everyone at Essential Bowling Concepts, and Joey, thank you. It's just a great thing that happened.
And we want to thank you, Sue Black, rest of the Wave, for coming on board. First time we've done this. When you're not in a bowling center this winter, go see a Wave game. It's a lot of fun. I got to see a few last year. It's an absolute blast, and it's a great thing for the family, just like bowling. So for my friend Van McNeil from the Milwaukee Wave and 99 WMYX, Joe Serrar back at Bowlers Pro Shop, I'm Phil Brylo, and parents take the kids bowling. They'll have fun for life, and take them to a Wave game, too.